Hello everyone, Galin Swigart again, and today I'm going to be reviewing the North Branch Soft Shell Jacket from First Lite. So the North Branch Soft Shell from First Lite is a weather resistant layer that's not quite rain gear, but it's extremely wind and water resistant. Basically, unless it's a downpour, I wear this instead of rain gear in cool weather. It's fleece lined, so it's extremely warm, and it has sealed zippers and seams. It is a little bit expensive. It's going to cost around $250 for a solid color and $275 for a camo version. My first impression of this jacket was that it was extremely well thought out. They were very intentional about the placement of pockets, the insulation, the cut of the jacket. Everything is very strategic, and I'm a huge fan of companies that really put a lot of thought into their products. There's a shoulder pocket like on most of their pieces, which is pretty small. It's going to fit a wind checker, diaphragm calls, small objects like that, nothing too big. And then it also has two hand warmer pockets on the front, and those are placed much higher than on some other jackets. And at first I was a little confused by that, but researching it a little bit further, I realized that that was an intentional design for people who are backpack hunting. The waist belt of the backpack is going to make the pockets useless while you're wearing your pack. So they raised them up so you could still put your hands in the pockets even while your belt is attached. I love that feature. Moving on to the cut, again, I am 6'3", around 170 pounds, pretty thin, pretty tall, and this is the size medium. Fits me pretty well. I could probably go to a large if I really wanted to layer underneath this, but the medium fits me really well with only a few pieces under it. Sleeve length is good, as on most of their pieces, so it's very comfortable for me. I feel like I could draw my bow, and it does get a little tight here, but it's not bad. It doesn't restrict your movement. It doesn't really get in the way. As with all of their pieces, their sleeves are tapered. I believe they call it a shooter's cut, so you can shoot your bow, shoot your gun, move, and do things like that. So it's a very athletic cut, which I'm a huge fan of. The cuffs on this jacket are made of like a more elastic type material that's really stretchy, so it really seals to your gloves, and if you put gloves underneath this, it's going to seal tightly because of that stretchy material there. Moving on to the collar is extremely tall on this jacket, and I am a huge fan of tall collars on jackets. One thing to note though, if you have it unzipped, it could potentially get in the way of your bowstring, so that's something to keep in mind. If you're drawing your bow back, you might want to fold this under or fold it back somehow so it's not getting in the way of your bowstring. One thing that I wish this jacket had for me personally, because I'm a bow hunter and I hunt from a tree stand a lot, and I use this as an outer layer in the early to mid season, I really would have liked to see a pass-through for my safety harness. This jacket was obviously not designed for whitetail hunting. It's a little noisy, so some people probably wouldn't use it for that, but for me personally, I think that would make this just the perfect early to mid-season whitetail jacket. Another interesting note about the cut of this jacket, the back is significantly longer than the front. It's got drawstrings along the bottom also, so you can really cinch it down and keep the wind out from getting into your jacket. Just a few things that I really would have liked to have seen incorporated into this jacket for my personal uses. I am a really big fan of pit zips on jackets like this. I wish that it had pit zips to help heat escape as you move. That's just something that they didn't include in this jacket, but it would have been a nice touch. Another thing that I wish they would have incorporated is a chest pocket. This jacket does not have a zippered chest pocket like a lot of jackets. I like to put my rangefinder, my cell phone, that sort of thing in there, and I find that it really comes in handy to have that pocket. I really wish they would have put that on this jacket, but it's not a deal breaker. I will say that this jacket is a little bit on the noisy side, so that's something to keep in mind. It's not going to be quiet like some whitetail hunting jackets like the Woodbury or the Sanctuary from First Lite, but I think that's the trade-off with a weather-resistant jacket. It's like a never-ending balance between weather resistance and silence. You can't have both. This is extremely weather resistant, but it is going to be a little bit noisy. Just keep that in mind. I haven't found that it's messed with my hunts or spooked any animals, but it's something to be mindful of while you're hunting. You might have to be a little bit careful when you're drawing your bow. So my final thoughts on this piece, for bow hunting especially, I wish it had a rangefinder pocket. I wish I could put my safety harness through it, and I would have liked to see pit zips on a jacket like this because it is so warm, but it does breathe very well. So I don't see that becoming a huge issue. It just would have been nice to have. Great jacket, and I highly recommend it for people who might be bow hunting or just hunting in some sort of weather. They don't need rain gear, but they want something kind of like as an intermediate piece between something like wool or fleece and rain gear. It's a great piece, and I highly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please like it, please subscribe, and share it with your friends. There's going to be a lot more videos coming from this channel in the future on the First Lite line. I'm going to try to go through all the pieces that I have, my layering system, and what I use these products for. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.